Hey, ladies and Germans, how you all doing? A special after Christmas hello to everybody out there. This is This is Con Ulrich coming to you with another Company of Heroes 2 1v1 today on La Glise Breakout. This is a live game actually being cast, well, live at the time of recording, between down here the OKW troops of Scruffman in the blue trunks and up north and the kind of inappropriately named Soviet troops of Panzerfaust91. He is in the red trunks. He has already thrown down guard motor coordination tactics, but he's also thrown down special rifle command, so a little bit confusing on what he's going to be doing with this. And for his part down here in the south, Scruffman is bringing along, of course, it's going to be Luftwaffe Ground Forces, Scavenge, and Special Operations Doctrine. Like I've already stated, this is La Glise Breakout, which means we're going to see probably plenty of delicious cover being used here. We had some weird smoke, that's right, the ambient smoke from the entire map kind of screwing me up here for a second. Sturmpiles to the west already thrown down barbed wire, trying to make sure that that doesn't get used by the wrong hands. And very, very quickly, the Germans are going to connect their fuel. Yes, sir. The Soviets are nowhere near it. It seems that Panzerfaust is not too concerned about getting troops that require fuel out too quickly. And I sincerely hope you're not going to see a clown car coming out from the Soviets, but who knows these days. First squad out for Panzerfaust is, well, after the combat engineers initially, will be a penal battalion. So it looks like people are definitely trying to work penal troops back into their rotation, especially with all of the changes that are expected of them. And no, it will be in fact that clown car. So I'm not sure it's really the best option on here. I mean, the clown car can find itself getting hammered by all these shot blockers. It cuts down the mobility, even though there are a number of roads and transportation opportunities for said car. Germans, for their part, opening up very standard trip Volksgrens, another one hanging out here in the center part of the map, locking down that munitions point, and bringing in a very, very early SWS. Probably going to be a battle group headquarters, just in time, I would say. Looks like we're going to probably see I don't know, what, 315, 320 battle group headquarters, maybe a little bit later than that. We have the initial kind of house-to-house fighting. And I have to say, this is just a cosmetic thing perhaps, but I do love this house right here. The windows are a little bit weird in terms of troop sizes, but I always enjoy the fact that these things get more and more beautiful. These maps by themselves really are gorgeous, gorgeous maps. 1-0 cap has ticked off 12 tickets already from the Soviets. At least there will be 12 tickets by the time this is captured. And there we go. It's going to be a 1-1. And it seems the Soviets are also pushing over here to the east. Now, Volksgrens going to find themselves a little bit outgunned and know that SWS is not being utilized just yet. So maybe it's a much later headquarters than I'm giving it credit for. And the Volksgrens are not doing a good idea by getting up from behind those sandbags. Sandbags are what you want to be behind, especially with those machine guns spraying at you. I am kind of wondering, are we actually going to see Scruffman just kind of hang out just until we have that 55 fuel? That might be an option. I don't know if that's really the greatest option. I don't. But we will see a Rakettenwerfer coming out to deflect that scout car much easier. You did see in the meantime these combat engineers ran afoul of that Sturmpire squad, which is still kind of marauding around here in the back of the Soviet side of the map. And it seems we have a weird kind of mix-up. Volksgrens have taken this house. Penal troops that were here have gone over here to the southeast, taking usually a German expansion garrison. Excuse me. And no, never mind. It is going to be this battle group headquarters. So hopefully we'll see a very, very quick tech up to medics. That'd be a good opportunity right there. And this Rakettenwerfer is placing itself rather perfectly for an expansion coming out from this clown car. And there's a shoe mine here as well. I imagine if we see the scout car come down at all, I'm going to keep an eye out over here because I'm hoping to see that clown car getting nuked. But no, he's going over here to the west, at least for the time being. In the meantime, though, penal troops keep coming out in droves from Panzerfaust, but it doesn't seem like that's his first concern. He's taking this church over here to the east and upgrading combat engineers, no, excuse me, penal troops with flamethrowers, but those are kind of still chilling behind the front lines. They're coming up right about now, and very, very wisely, the Germans decide to back away. I'm wondering if the Germans are trying to encourage that scout car to come forward. I really would like to see that mine go up underneath. It could be quite devastating. Scruffman is dropping some troops, though, losing 3 or 4 models already. Volksgren's down to just 2, and these Sturmpyos are in a close range suppression fire with those penal battalion individuals. Panzerfaust, though, not looking so hot. I mean, he's got 4 guys left here, but they're all ultra low health. It's really by the good grace of Stalin himself that they haven't dropped any number of models there. Oh, come on, boys. It's a Schumann. It's just, it's calling your name. I want to see you blow up. That makes me a very macabre person, I'm sure, but I'd be very, very interested to see that. Medics have been called out. Good opportunity there by Scruffman. Has Panzerfaust deigned to go for medics? Yes, he is. He's going to do that right now. A good idea there. Folks, in the meantime, we're going to see ourselves an incendiary grenade. No, not going to be that. Instead, it's going to be the scout car just hopping around the field, looking to kind of keep things red. An incendiary grenade does force off the penal troops away from the point. Just those, maybe it's the minor deflection there, not that great necessarily. Panzerfaust, though, is not going to really get himself another tech structure, which I think is a minor mistake. I would like to see at least a tank of the battalion command at minimum by now. I mean, 6:36 into the game. Why the heck not, right? But in the meantime, these guys have been hanging out in this church over here for quite a long while. And with another flamethrower on the field, it looks like Panzerfaust is just trying to have a nice little send-off for those penal troops and that upgrade, which will be going bye-bye pretty darn soon once that winter balance comes out. Mines finally coming down from the Soviets, putting one down on the VP over here, and it's usually going to go off unless the Germans do have, in fact, some hazard removal kits, but it's not a common idea right there. But the pathing of that particular area will probably encourage some deaths there. Now the Storm Pioneers are getting wrecked, though. Coming in nice, close, and personal, and the flame troops are like, okay, bro, that works for us. We're okay with that. And combat engineers laying down improvised minefields all over the place there and there already. And penal squads are pushing forward for the Red Scare. That'd be kind of good right there for them. One shoe mine will go off any second now, and kaboom. There goes 2 penal troops right there, which gives another opportunity maybe to get some fire put down. Some effective fire, I would hope. Volksgrens do find themselves up close and personal with the penal troops, and being that close to a flame squad is not a good idea. We are also going to see some guards coming onto the field. Those PTRSs getting more than enough to take out any sort of German vehicle aggression. It's been a little bit unfortunate to see at the meantime, too, that this Raketenwerfer has not had any target of opportunity. A little even more disturbing is the fact that Panzerfaust is working the western side of the map while the Germans just kind of hanging out back in base, a little bit scared, a little bit lonely, and definitely a little bit outgunned for the time being. I do say that in the meantime, saying that the Germans do have a larger army, but overall, the penal troops and the PTRS guards are going to be more than enough to take out whatever is being thrown at them, at least at the current army compositions. Now, let's think about this for a second. Veterancy-wise, both guys are largely the same. I mean, we have a couple stars here and there, not anything huge. But what am I going to be looking for? If I'm Scruffman, what commander do I pick? I know now that Panzerfaust has guard mode coordination tactics, and you also should know that this mine right here is pretty much going to be found out super, super quick. Tank of battalion command, in the meantime, going to be shown when the Su-76 hits the field. That's going to be a minor problem for Scruffman as well. But what does he go for? Does he go for the Special Operations Doctrine? Does he go for a Scavenge Doctrine? Luftwaffe ground forces, I'd say at this point, probably not a good idea. And these Volksguns are going to get taken out any moment here. Yep, get out of that garrison before the first burst of flame comes out, luckily. These penal troops, despite having all these windows to shoot out of, are taking some significant losses from a small 2-squad push in the south here. That being said, too, these penal troops in the north are finding themselves being forced to move from position to position. or else face the German incendiary material, and that's going to be kind of a harsh problem there. Nevertheless, the Rock 3 flamethrowers cannot be denied. Volksgun's going to be pushed back every direction. And I'm seeing this another incendiary grenade here, perhaps. It'd be a good idea. It's going to get it in now. This for Kettenwerfer. Not sure what's going on with that poor guy. He's taking just incidental flame that's going after the Volksgrenadiers. And interestingly enough, though, we will see the penal troops just hanging out there during the entire incendiary grenade. So very, very unlucky there. Su-76 thrown down its light arty barrage. Remember, guys, that will be getting a munitions penalty in the next balance. And the combat engineers have found out the shoe mine to the west. Now, guards, in the meantime, are going to find the Volksgrenadiers here, and they're going to just wreck them. Even directional cover aside, Volksgrens can't stand up to that kind of firepower. Panzer headquarters, in the meantime, will come out over here from Scruffman, looking to make sure he keeps the hold on that fuel. Maybe to a certain degree, trying to lock down these two road areas, at least for the immediate future. Unfortunately, this will mean that the munitions point will be easily taken by any sort of Russian aggression, shall we say. And Panzerfaust91 is playing this not perfectly, but he's playing it pretty darn well. Putting flamethrowers on his troops that have the opportunity to definitely take care of holding any garrisons. You do see whenever you have a German squad in garrison, they get forced out pretty darn quick. To the north, though, the Sturmpires are still able to outgun the combat engineers. But Panzerfaust looks like he's going to give himself a little bit of indirect fire support, in addition to that Su-76, which is still kind of hanging about the middle part of the map. We have a 120mm mortar now on the field. That was the indirect fire support I was talking about, and that guy by himself might really push Scruffman into a very, very dangerous place. Now, what I am looking for myself is I'm definitely looking to find some vehicle play coming out from the Germans. He's decided to go Special Operations Doctrine. Interesting decision there. It's because he's looking to get the grenade assault, because if he does, he still has to be pretty darn quick with them. Those penal troops are all over the place, and one guy just had a fiery death as a result of this Panzer headquarters. Grenades coming out over here on this garrison. These Volkssquad push, looking to really throw back the penal troops as much as possible. And now Obersoldaten coming onto the field with the STGs could be a significant boost in firepower. And Lord, do the Germans need it. Su-76 in the meantime still kind of hanging out over here. He's starting to throw rounds downrange at that house. Another round or two, we'll see the house go down. There it goes. There goes the resale value. Hardwood floors will not save anything for that one, and that housing bubble has burst on La Glise breakout. 354 to 468 though, 13:30 into this game, and Scruffman is seems a little bit disoriented. Panzerfaust91 is definitely being very effective in the way he's working both sides of the map. You have to love little touches like that. It's the little hand crank to kind of change the elevation, and immediately being changed back out again as the hand truck mortar moves to another position. In the west, Sturmpires are going to find themselves getting hammered by two groups of penal battalion troops. And Scruffman at this point, I really think, should just build himself an MG34 or two. Can note in the meantime that Panzerfaust91 is going for his mechanized armor compania, and with the T-3485, the Su-76, and now the scout car that's still on the map, for some reason, somehow, some way, pulling out funky ass shit like every single day. A little bit of a love out there for the big Snoop Lion. Might cause a shift in power that Scruffman can't come back from. He's starting to overload his infantry over here to the west. If I can see grenade assault from these guys here. There we go. That's one, and hopefully they get the grenades off in time, and manage to do a little bit of damage to the OKW. Excuse me, to the Soviets rather. Is what I meant to say. And deflect. Wow, they actually deflect that push over here to the west. Unfortunately, they continue to bleed tickets, and the longer they wait, the more this actually gets locked down. This combat engineer squad really should just be popping out, placing mines every which direction. You know, maybe a mine over here, maybe a mine over there. Doing whatever they can to just frustrate those advancing Germans. But Scruffman has finally decided to go for a hazard removal kit, and is adding in as well. It looks like shoe mines over here on the western munitions point. No, guys, don't get out. You almost had it. Thank you. I was gonna say, don't ever do that. That hurts me inside. But where are we? Where are we? Fuel cache has been put out on this strategic point here. Good decision. More TM-35 mines have been put out. Over here to the north area. So locking things down a little bit more. More grenade assaults, I imagine, are imminent. That's one. Oh my gosh, the Germans are going to take some hits here too. But just grenades going all out onto this garrison, and does manage to take it out. So maybe Scruffman is just looking to play a long game on terms of the garrisons. I can't say for sure. But he's now got two squads at Obersoldaten with the infrared STGs, and those things are pretty darn good, I would have to say. But that doesn't mean that everything is coming up roses. Panzerfaust is going to be able to support the 85s soon enough. Right now it just is a 76, the only thing he'll be calling in. But the 85 ain't that far off, guys. It's 2.5 minutes, really. Schnurpio squad again. These guys are just, every single time they're out on the map, it's just flames for days. And I think we're probably going to see the death of this brave little toaster. No, he's going to make it out, and a P4 is going to be coming out to the fray instead. So we're going to have 2 mortars and a fair amount of infantry against the P4, well, in the SU-76, mind you, against the P4, and that might be, it's kind of a toss-up, because the PTRS anti-tank rifles are surprisingly good against heavy battle armor. I did miss in the meantime, though, the drain is done for the Germans. Nevermind is back in business because they have lost their own VP over here to the west. And these mortars just firing indiscriminately to the middle part of the map. I'm hoping to see if this P4 can kind of get forward enough to frustrate these Soviet pushes here. One thing to note in the meantime, this guy's going to run over top of this mine, and yep, there goes 2 penal troops, and a quick little push could be enough to really frustrate Soviet expansion. Marked vehicles come out though, which means that SU-76 is in play, looking at rounds down range. Hits it pretty hardcore, and the BTRS are doing work as well. And where's that Kettenwerfer? The thing's been doing jack for the entire game. He's over here to the west facing a good idea, just not going to be enough.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Assault grenades going out like crazy, and more assault grenades going out like crazy, and these guards are just outside of this house, but again, just another garrison goes down. And I'm trying to figure out if Scruffman is intending to do that. I mean, it's a very long-range plan if that's the case. But sending in 2 squads with the grenades galore has taken out, what, 2 garrisons so far. That was from the SU-76. Well, it has. I don't remember the other one. Maybe it was this one right here. Either way, it's a very long play. I'm not sure I necessarily agree with it, if that is in fact what Scruffman is doing. In terms of infantry, I am impressed to see that we're just seeing loads of it all over the place. These 2 squads of Volksgrens, though, will find themselves picked off if they're not careful, and indeed we see penal troops pushing forwards, trying to put pressure again on this munitions point. These Volksgrens right here could be enticed to throw... Oof! Oh, goodness, they could have been enticed to throwing out grenades, but never mind, they get pushed away, destroyed by that mortar round. And 1930 into the game, 283 to 468, the Germans are trying desperately to start taking some of these points back. But it's not happening, and indeed the STG Obersoldaten, never mind, they found one of the mortars. They could have enough to do real danger to it, and no, he's going to toss out a grenade. That really makes no sense. Oh no, still charging. Okay, I was like, he's throwing out grenades? Why? Never mind. No grenades are out. We're all set here. T-3485 is coming out as well, and now that P4 really needs to be concerned because that Rakettenwerfer has not positioned itself adequately. And a 2-0 cap, and even if it becomes a 2-1 cap, T-3485 with the Su-76 is more than enough to just flank and spank the P4. But it seems the Obersoldaten are very, very brave, looking to stymie the push forwards any Soviet infantry. And 2 mortars in the meantime will throw rounds down in the middle part of the field. Never mind, looking for that truck instead. My apologies, folks. And there that the 85 comes, 3485. Sliding forwards, and the Germans again, that Rakettenwerfer's off to the west. He's out of position. And the P4 missing its first rounds. A very, very bad port here for Scruffman. We will see, ooh, no, bundle grenade? Never mind, it's a super long bundle grenade. I always thought the cooldown, but the, window fuse, the fuse for it was a heck of a lot shorter. But I guess we're not talking about cooked pineapples. Instead, it's very, very different. And the Soviets over here are expecting the Germans to come forward, and once they do, ain't nobody going to be ready. Also going to see a Schumann placed down here over to the west. This Rakettenwerfer might get a shot or two off before being induced to flee, to put it delicately. And no, the Pinot troops walk right by without being seen. German pioneers are trying to go and trade firepower with these guys, and big booms. No, okay, it was a satchel charge, really? Not sure why he would throw a satchel charge necessarily. But now the Germans have desperately make sure that these combat engineers don't get over to the west, otherwise they will find out that mine, and then it'll be all for naught. 4 rounds coming in though. Rakettenwerfer throwing rounds into the 3485, and it seems that there's going to be what, maybe Faust's galore, because it's going to be a very, very expensive push. Damaged engine on the 3485, but 3 of those squads already are down to about, what, 40% health. But never mind, the 3485 goes down, shockingly enough. And the Obersoldaten buy it. Oh yeah, which puts now Scruffman for the first time in a while at a lower army size than his opponent. And with those help of those mortars laying down just curtains of fire, I'm very, very concerned for the German forces. They are doing some decent work, I will admit. IXG finally coming out in another Obersoldaten squad, but it's going to be a very long time before we even see this Panther command tank, and I'm wondering if maybe it will be a better idea to get out the Jagdpanzer, or perhaps even another Panzer IV. Oof, another Obersoldaten squad goes out, and he doesn't even manage to take out the 120mm mortar. Unlucky right there. Another mine's been detected now in the meantime for these combat engineers. And Scruffman is just starting to get frustrated, it seems, throwing forces up unsupported, which are getting chewed up and spit out. Everything is being eaten here, and these guys are just standing here. They're just waiting for the eternal post at the end of time. And part of the issue here is that these Volkskrieger just keep rushing forwards in big, nice blobs for the mortars to just have to play with all day, every day. And no assaults, no nothing. Oh, jeez. Grenade comes out, eviscerates another Volkskrieger or two, and I'm thinking, folks, that Scruffman is just starting to go on tilt here. P4 is out in business. Again, maybe, like I said, a dual P4 would be a good opportunity here. It'd be a very long time to get to that Panther command tank, and as good as it is, I don't know if he's got enough time to wait for it. Admittedly, though, I'd also like to see him dive to pick up this Su-76, because I feel like that's one of those things that's keeping him at arm's length. Mortars in the meantime, this guy with 2 left on the squad should consider falling back. I'm just suggesting, not that he can hear me. And I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be one good fight and then people are going to just bow out. Again, all of the German infantry is in one position right here, and I kind of wish we were seeing a little bit more aggression. I won't say correctly, but a little more widespread aggression from the Germans. This VP, for example, has been hanging out most of the entire game with literally this one squad of combat engineers right there. Not a whole lot going on. Just to note, in the meantime, though, these guards drop a PTRS rifle, and they're gonna lose it too. It's an excellent opportunity to pick that up, and yep, they've got that now. So the Su-76, even 3485, should be concerned. Yikes! But you know, he backs up because he's a little bit of a scaredy cat. ISG gets canceled and remade. In the meantime, I'm probably finally going to see, I was wrong, we are going to see a Panther command tank. He's got the man, oh, he was going to have the manpower. Now he's just reinforcing everything as he should. But another 15-20 seconds until we see that happening. And in the meantime, yep, it's still just the Germans trying to frustrate the Soviets wherever they can. With the mortar rounds coming down all over the place, you have to be really, really concerned for the Obersoldaten. And those guys, as effective soldiers as they are, it's just still not pretty for them. Any second, of course. Also, I would disagree with the fact that right now Scruffman just keeps sending his troops like hey diddle diddle right up this middle, and they're getting hammered like crazy. But now we can see that Panther command tank. Question is, there we go. Yep, there we go. That's how we do. This is how we do it. So that'll be good. That'll boost some of the fighting efficiency of this force for the time being. Of course, you do see, okay, the field medkit has been put down. And, yeah, this bad puppy's got some movement in sight. Now, this Theory 485 might find itself outflanked, and I would kind of like to see that happen. But no, it seems the Germans are still a little bit nervous about the prospects of getting flanked, as opposed to just being a little more aggressive here. And the first round or two just starts to miss. That's just always such a shock there. This squad, it might go down, it's going to get bounced off, but Theory 485 is completely and totally outflanked. Though these Katyushas, I might even see it get away. Never mind, it's going to get brewed up. It's got to get brewed up. He's brewed up, that's one. P4 starts diving in deep. This Katyusha's going to go down in a second, too. One round's going to be enough. Even on the run. There he goes. That's another one down. And what happened, a ghastly position for the Germans is turning now into a terrible position for the Soviets. Scout car's going to buy it. Su-76 is going to buy it. The question is, what is going to go first? Scout car goes first. Su-76 starts getting chased. As long as the Panther command tank doesn't hit these mines, and it looks like he was trying desperately to run him into those mines. Nope, that goes down as well, so all that's left is just some infantry for the Soviets. The P4 can shift over here to the west. He might be able to pick up these mortars. Instead, kind of swooping around. In the meantime, Scruffman has lost some of his infantry, losing the micro battle at the moment, and indeed the Volksgrens over here to the west should get out of there. There goes another Obersoldaten squad. But the Panther command tank is still on the field. He is still scary. Yeah, that's right. You want to go and fire at me with a flamethrower, see what happens to you, pal. And this poor Russian is going to just get murderized, I'm sure. He goes down. Guards are taking incidental firepower. The Germans at this point really have to just push every little bit of advantage they have. They have 2 armored vehicles, and the Russians have nothing. They have 4 guardsmen. Excuse me, no, 8 guardsmen. I was looking at the penal squad for some reason. This mortar squad's going to go down. This Panther command tank is like just totally turned around this entire game. One model's almost going to drop here for sure. And the other one manages to make it away, maybe? No, he doesn't. There he goes. He's down as well. So P4 is still out and damaged. Is he getting repaired though? Yes, he is. Those storm pioneers doing their business. And these guardsmen fearlessly engaging the Panther command tank, but it's not going to be a great opportunity for him. And indeed, you are going to see these brave penal troops charging a tank. That's not a means of success. That's kind of screaming for a Darwin Award right there. And this is what's going on. Now we have a reenactment at the end of Fury. Soviet infantry going in every direction around, trying to pick up and pick on these Panther command tank as much as possible. It's not going to do any good. And looks like that one penal squad's going to get pushed back. Combat engineers go down, and yep, these guards' rifles. So Panzerfaust91 was in an amazing position here. Really an amazing position. He had all the armor, he had all the infantry he needed, he had a lot of the upgrades he needed as well, and it seems like Scruffman has managed to pull it back. P4 now supporting this 2-squad push from these Volksgrens, and yeah, that's going to be it. Panzerfaust is going to tap it out at 31 minutes in, 130 to 457. Scruffman pulls it out. Wow, I thought that was over for sure, folks, but you know what? That's the thing I like about this game. You don't know it's over until it's over. Tough loss for Panzerfaust and way to hang in there for Scruffman. You do see in the meantime that's a little bowing out thing going on down there. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. I will see you all soon. This is Con Ulrich signing off. Take it easy.